Hey team, Major Foe here. Operation Akagi, turn 12. I don't even know what year it is anymore. Holy, yeah, January 1942. So we'll go to tech right now, and then I'll just go back to one little piece of housekeeping now that I'm over here. Improved construction, we rolled an 8, so that one has finally finished in turn 12. We rolled a 5 on large ship construction, so 50%, I'm not upset with that. Okay. Over to the housekeeping. I'm not 100% sure which ones are the casualties. I think it's like this, but I'll leave it for um, the warden to figure out in his turn. He definitely lost a medium armor, so that one's more than likely. He lost 2 planes. I'm guessing he's taken the Italian bomber and 1 fighter, so these 2 are guaranteed, but he might take a different fighter and keep the bomber. I don't know if he has a plan for that. And then he has 4 other hits. I don't know if he's going to take his airborne or another infantry. So I just rolled a circle around that so the warden can make those decisions. But the medium armor definitely goes. 1 fighter definitely goes. And now the rest is up in our. I mean, militia's obvious, but between the airborne and something else on here, because he's losing 2 infantry for the other one. So I guess these are the only 2 in question, so I'll just delete that. So he has 1 more to take and 1 aircraft. So it's likely an Italian bomber, and it might be another infantry, but I'll leave that to the warden to figure out on his turn. Okay, on to Japan. Go to purchases. Now that we have reached improved construction, we're -1 on our ships and facilities. So this heavy cruiser is $4 versus $5. So this is 62 instead of 63. So we save $1. So 2 medium tanks for 12, 2 mountain for 8, 2 marines for 8, 3, 4, 5 militia for 10, a fighter for 10, 2 infantry for 6, and 2 militia upgrades for 4. And put those back on. Okay. Now, on to combat. The American Navy is in range now, so I'll take 2 kamikaze tokens of the 6 and drop them against that fleet. I neglected to ask for casualty list, but I'll just leave it with Elite and he can figure that out. Combat moves. Okay, so down here in Sarawak, we have an infantry walking up from Borneo. That's the infantry at 1 in the mountains. I want to say it's mountainous for the whole time. I'm not 100% sure. Off the 6th fleet, we have, or the 2nd fleet, I guess it is, we have 2 fighters going in there. Yeah, camera skills haven't changed. So 2 fighters at 6, 1 infantry at 1, 1 infantry at 1, and a militia at 2. So this could be fun and exciting. Out of the 6th fleet, we have a destroyer. And out of the troops in British Malaya, we have a destroyer with a +1 movement from the dockyard. So it'll move 1 to I-12, 2 to I-6, correction, I-10, 3 to I-8, and 4 to I-3. And go in port, take Madagascar. With that marine. Okay, that's no contest. Up here in Burma, we have an infantry at a Yunnan. That's going to go in and take Burma. That's $1. Okay, an infantry at a Yunnan is going to go into Anam Tonkin. That's $1. Okay, so those are no contest. We have a destroyer in Tokyo, in port, and a marine. It's going to move 1 to P15, 2 to P32, 3 to P41, and 4 to P50. It will drop the marine in Luzon. Tactical bomber to Sumatra is going to 1, 2. It has 3 movements left. 3, 4, land in British Malaya. The 2 fighters off the carriers move 1, 2, 3, land in British Malaya, and 1 tactical off of the carrier there as well. So we have 2 Marines at 1, because I'm going to guess that's mountainous. 2 tacticals at 7 with target select. The undamaged battleship and the battle cruiser will try and shore bombard that. So it'll be 1 at 4, 1 at 3. And then they have a militia and an infantry defending. Okay, I think that's all the combats. Nothing up there, there's nothing over there. Okay, so let's... Oh, wait. We have some subs going to cause some grief. Hopefully. We have a sub in P54 is going to move up 1 to P46 and 2 to P45 and raid that American line. We have a sub in P50. We'll move 1 to P42, 2 to P43, and 3 into P45. So 2 subs will raid that line. I don't think we have any other raids. Nope, no more raiding. Okay, that will conclude the combat. So let's start up here. See how many kamikaze strikes we get. So we have 2 at 7 with target select at 3 or less. 1 hit. So I'll leave that to the warden to decide. He'll probably take it on a battleship is my guess, but maybe not. So I'll leave this token there. That indicates 1 hit on that fleet. Down in here into the rating in P45 we have +2 on each of the subs. That's 1 damage on that line. And the second sub, oh yeah, maxed out. Okay, so that's $3 off of America, not Germany. Yep, hello. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so those are done. Drag those back down. Okay, we'll do this fight first. We have 2 fighters at 6 and infantry at 1. Okay, the fighters finally came through, so that militia is dead. Let's see how unlucky we get on this one. Militia fires back at a 2 and a 5, so no complaints there. Take Sarawak for $1. Okay. Okay, so into Luzon, we have a battleship and a battle cruiser for strike shore bombardments. Red's blue, or red's a 4, and the battle cruiser is a 3, both misses. This is going to go swimmingly. We have 2 Marines at 1 and 2 tacticals in a ugly green at 7 with a target select. We get 1 hit, so the militia dies. That's this guy. So militia's at Come here. The militia's at a 2 in light green, and the infantry is a 4 in dark green. And 1 hit. Well, I guess this is the other marine. Hello. Off the destroyer. Apologies for that. 1, 2, 3. Obviously I had the dice there, so just forgot to put that in there. So the militia missed and the infantry hit. So I'll lose a marine. And he loses the militia. So this is going to be painful. Hopefully not. We'll just roll it all together. So Marine at 1, 2 tacticals at 7, and his infantry at 4. And his infantry hits and the tacticals hit. So the infantry's gone, and yet again another Marine is killed. So Luzon survives. Okay. That sub's no longer reading. That concludes the combats. They didn't go great, but they're done. Okay, so non-combat movements. Submarine in P50, the coastal sub is going to move to P59, keeping 1 ship in annoyance range of Anzac. Take these dice off. So I'm going to reform the 41st. I'm just going to take all of these. Just move them here for a second. The 41st is now going to be up here in Hopei. You just transfer these units. Okay, so that's the new 41st. So we have a motorized and an artillery will rail to Hopei. So that'll join that. Little army. Okay, and then we've got 2 infantry out of Tokyo's office transport out of the port. We'll P15, P14 go in port in Rihi and drop 2 more infantry in Hopei. Okay, that tank in Rihi will move 1-2 into Hopei. The tank in Nanking will move 1-2 into Hopei. Okay, the seaplane in Kyushu, 1, 2, 3, 4, land in British Malaya. And I'll just put that 18th on there. The 2 fighters are going to land in there. And the 2 tacticals are going to land in there. Okay, going to get right. This tank in Yunnan is going to move over to Kwangtung. There is still a militia in Kwangtung. What's left in port there? We'll get to that. So 1 transport from Rihi will move 1-2. 1 will go into port in Tokyo. The other one I'll move in a second. The 2 transports in port in Kyushu will take the 2 infantry and 2 mountain brigades down and drop them off in British Malaya. So they're there with the 2 destroyers. Okay, the transport that is in the fleet here is going to strategically naval move with an infantry and a marine that was already there. We'll move 1 to I-12, 2 to I-10, 3 to I-8, 4 to I-4, and 5 into I-5, and go into port and drop an infantry and marine into Lower Egypt. Help out the Italians. Okay, the second fleet is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 1 movement from the dockyard there, and that's the 2 fleet carriers with a light carrier and 2 tacticals on board. The 2 fighters out of, well, all 3 fighters, I guess, out of Kwangtung will move 1 to Hunan, 2 to P32, 3 to P15, and 4 into P16, landing on those carriers. The carrier in P15 is going to move over. The 2 heavy cruisers from the 6th Fleet will also move up 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 2 heavy cruisers and 2 light cruisers out of P15 will move over. Okay, the 2 torpedo boat destroyers will join them. Squeeze a few more units on this card. Okay, then we have the torpedo boat destroyer import in P32 will move 1, 2, joining that fleet. The submarine is there. We have a sub in P22, 1, 2, 3. It'll move there. We have 2 subs in P37. They're going to come off rating. And they'll move there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then 2 destroyers will also move up. Okay, the transport will move from the port in P14 and go into port in Kyushu. Okay. And that's the new 6th Fleet. All right, I think that's everything. I don't own any more units. I'm pretty sure that's all of it. Okay, let's go to place units. Just check here, make sure. Oh no, we've got the 1 infantry up here in Cheetah is going to move back to Amur. Nah, it'll go down to Krulin. Yeah, let's go to Krulin. Okay, and nothing else can move. Okay, go to place units. All right, so that heavy cruiser will join that fleet in P15. The fighter will go to Tokyo. And the heavy cruiser is going to be built out of the factory in Kyushu and just put in that shipyard there in Tokyo. And then 2 Marines and 2 mountain brigades will be built out of Tokyo. Okay, and the fighter, so that's the 5 units for there. And then 2 infantry will be built in Kyushu. Okay, we have a medium tank going in Nanking, medium tank into Rihi. We have a militia to Malaya. We have all of this left. So a militia upgrade goes into Kwangtung. Deletes that. We have a militia upgrade going into Hopei. Oops. Deletes that. We have 4 militia left. 1 goes into Cheetah. 1 goes into Amur. 1 goes into Cruellen. And 1 goes into Hopei. Right? Oh, over here, yeah. Okay. I think that concludes all of the attacks, placing of units, collecting of money. Oh, I didn't get Luzon, so no more bonuses. 53. And then I have $6 for China. That's 59. 2, 4, 6 for the other bonuses. Should be 65. 12. Yeah, 65. And I saved $1, so I'll be at $66. All right, I think that concludes the Japanese turn. Just check everything over there. Notes. Cruiser, yep. Okay, that concludes Japan turn 12. Thanks again for watching. Silk, you're up next, buddy.